In a world that has seen Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition, 4th edition, 5th edition, 5th edition, and powered by the apocalypse, one man and one game has the bravery to do all that crap again with a store-brand label. Kirkland's Signature Verisimilitude. Not to be confused with Great Value Dungeons & Dragons, or Clover Valley Dungeons & Dragons. We've all eaten struggle meals, I get it. In fact, it boggles the mind how much sacrifice and risk one has to go through to pursue a passion project of this magnitude. Its creators must have really had to tighten the belt to— Oh my god! Well, good. That must have allowed them to handily complete their— Oh my god! Truly another success of free market communism. At least we'll be able to see where the money goes. Anyway, welcome to Cat Molville's tactical heroic cinematic fantasy buzzword salad game. It's the most epic game written by an epic Gen Xer trying his best to sound like an epic millennial. Epic! He explains the pillars of his game on his backer kit. For example, fantasy. Just, you know, it's got dragons and stuff. Yeesh. Anyway, continuing. It's worth mentioning. Zeitgeist, verisimilitude, pop culture reference, space fantasy, zeitgeist. Alright. Enough ragging on his epic and quirky millennial writing. I'm not that much of a wangrod after all. What's the game like, though? It really does put the emphasis on being epic. Everything is built toward that aim. When you win stuff, you get victories, which convert to XP, which advance your character. What counts as a victory? You know, epic stuff that epically matters. Not trying to exploit the system, which means the system can be exploited and the only thing preventing it is forcing the nerdiest nerd at the table to veto the efforts of the other nerds. This will never start a fight at a table. Epic. Every class gets heroic resources, which you should carefully manage to make sure you get through epic fights victoriously. See the section on victories. As for classes, you could play a paladin, a rogue, a bard, a freak, a avatar, support, a person with anger issues, or a mech pilot. Fantasy. I know what you're thinking. This game sounds complicated. Idiot. Cole Matville thought of that when the game was released. It's heroic, after all. In movies, you never watch Indiana Jones buy bullets or watch Katniss Everdeen take a shower. Why is that your example? Stinky. Anyway, being heroic and all, you don't have to worry about things like torches and rations and carry weight unless it meets the arbitrary standard of being epic in the given situation or whatever. Also, sometimes your wangrod won't be heroic right off, so you and your GM have to figure out what arbitrary amount of convincing they have to do for your reluctant wangrod hero to meet the demands of their archetype, but still be convinced to do the right thing and join the adventure. There are other ways this game is for millennials with money, which you should give me. You always hit, give me money, so you can always get your ribbon. Money, please. And every class can heal themselves. Cashola, now. In fact, when you roll your attack with custom draw steel power dice, order now, which are guaranteed to give you the crispest, fairest rolls, please give me money. You actually just roll your damage directly. Not even a chance of missing, for which you should pay me. It's also a game for vegans. It has no stakes. I'd like to sum it up this way. Splat Crowville, Knight of the Verisimilitude Phalanx, has made a game where everything mechanical has to do with the abstract, and everything practical has been gutted. You don't keep track of torches, you don't keep track of food, you don't keep track of how much your character is carrying. Everything that would ground them in some sense of reality is gone. On the flip side, you do have a bunch of new resources to manage, resources that only serve meta purposes, that make you a puppet master of a story rather than a participant in it. And if you ever do want to have a tense moment where your torchlight matters, or you don't have enough food for a trip, or your quiver runs empty, the GM will be springing it on his players out of nowhere, left to adjudicate on his own. Which you can do, because being a game master is basically like being a game developer. You're doing a very good job. Good boy, give me money. You would never actually do that, though, because there's never been a movie or story where any of those things led to excitement or drama. This ain't a game about experiencing or exercising heroism. It's a game about pretending to watch a movie about other people being heroic. A movie with a kill counter and a floor map in the corner, which kinda sounds like a movie that sucks. It's a game where you pretend verisimilitude exists and then ignore it, so you can focus on the stuff that verisimilitude would get you. It's like deficit spending. So at risk of sounding like a wang rod, I'm not sure who this game is for. That's a lie, I do. It's for people looking for a power fantasy. People who will readily believe it if you tell them straight to their face that they're powerful. People that think it would be cooler if Frodo had to duel Sauron to the death and win. Who want Luke Skywalker to fight the Emperor. Who think it's awesome when Rey used 2 lightsabers. Never mind. You're very powerful and brave and I love you. Give me money. God, I didn't even talk about the races. Just look at this thing. Gross.